What's up, guys? Renasant here. Welcome back to the channel. We are still in the catacombs underneath Firelink Shrine. If you recall, at the end of the last episode, we had just visited Nito. Let me turn the volume up here for you guys. There we go. So as you can see, we're using some new equipment. We got the Helm of the Wise, Brigand Armor, black leather gloves, and the Leggings of Favor. Also, we're using a Stora's Straight Sword with the Spider Shield. So a Stora's Straight Sword is actually, if we look at it, you see down the bottom left the 120. That is a Faith modifier, or excuse me, it's actually a Divine modifier. So this weapon does inflict divine damage. Now, sadly, the sad part about all this is we do not do a lot of damage with this sword. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to use a tower shield. But yeah, we don't do a lot of damage with this sword. Hello, friend. Yeah, as you can see, not a lot of damage, but it is very effective against these skeletons, right? Because it has that divine modifier, it will permanently kill them. And that's all we've ever wanted. Whee! Yes, so as you drop down there, you may notice you're going to land by this Black Knight. There's actually two holes you can fall under there, so come on, hit. Plus 10 tower shield, you do no stamina damage at all. We could just pop them and back away. But this is a good way to get this item right here. So this is an interesting little area right here. Okay, you may hear that noise, and now you may see where that noise is coming from. Whew, there's a lot of them, man. These are bone wheel skeletons. They are, let's just say, for lack of a better word, rough enemies to deal with. Okay. Now, luckily for us, we can hopefully get out of here. It's a good thing about having this shield. This is why I switched to it. As you can see, it blocks a lot of this. These guys aren't that bad if you can block their block them. However, if you can't block them, that's what will happen. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that was where the blacksmith was, right there. Vamos. But I'm glad we spawned right here, honestly, because I was just about to homeward bound back here anyway. Reason being is we're basically done with the catacombs now. All we have left to do, really, is to go fight the boss. And so if you recall, as I told you, as I mentioned in the previous episode, God, I always forget about that. There's actually, and I think I showed you guys that there's actually an NPC summon available, right? Really? Double, really? NPC summon. So we are going to get to that NPC summon too. So the quickest way from the bonfire, honestly, is to just jump down here and jump down here. Paladin Leroy. And we also want to grab this item. Holy robe, traveling gloves, holy trousers, and the mace. Come on, Leroy. You see he's got a badass hammer there, which we will get. And also of note that his hammer is also divine infused, so it can actually take out the skellies too. But anyway, let's see who our boss is. You may notice this is actually a giant coffin. And the only thing I hate about this is that you have to take fall damage here. What a great noise. So this is Pinwheel. Probably one of the easiest bosses in Dark Souls history. As you can see, he is dead. Thanks for your help, Paladin Leroy. And that's not just because we're high level, guys. Look at that secret passage. Pinwheel is just that easy to kill. Okay. Mask of the Mother. So Pinwheel dropped a couple things there. Humanity, Homeward Bone. The Mask of the Mother, actually, it's not really the one that we wanted, but you saw he had 3 separate masks. One of the 3 masks of Pinwheel, the Necromancer who stole the power of the Gravelord and reigns over the catacombs. This mask, belonging to the Kindly Mother, slightly raises HP. So it's interesting there. It specifically says that Pinwheel was stealing the power of the Gravelord. So, of course, Gravelord, they're referring to Gravelord Nito. Let's read the Rite of Kindling as well. Very important item, by the way. This secret rite allows bonfires to be bolstered further with kindling, so that even more Estus can be collected. Kindling was a sacred rite passed down among clerics, but all undead can imitate the process, in the same manner that they restore their hallowing with humanity. How peculiar that humans had found little use for humanity until they turned undead. So, I forgot we didn't get our souls. Probably want to go back and pick that up. Humanity, the Rite of Kindling, it will allow us actually, since we already have it, we can just pop a couple humanities here. And we can actually kindle it, our bonfire, past 10 now, right? So we can go to 15, you see it gets a little brighter. But we can even go one step further to 20 to get 20 Estus, which is, believe me you, more than enough in this game. But yeah, I just want to talk a little bit briefly about Pinwheel. So, talks about that he's stealing, robbing Gravelord Nito of his power. Basically, every time, man. He's a necromancer, so he's performing these undead rituals, I guess you could say. And these undead rituals, sadly, are taking a toll on Nito's life. And they're actually making him weaker. And it also kind of brings up the fact that Nito is not this overly powerful, overly confident thing. Right? He can't be. Because if he was, he wouldn't allow it, right? He wouldn't allow you to just drain his power like it was nothing. Like I said, bonfire, vamos. But yeah, it kind of makes you believe that Nito's not actually a bad dude. He's not this evil, great evil being that's out to get everybody. Are y'all really following me? Eat my shorts. You can see Pinwheel just chilling in this, what can only be described as a sarcophagus. You can see a little glow up there. That isn't an item. I mean, just look at Pinwheel's domain here. I mean, doesn't this look like when you think necromancer? I mean, this is pretty accurate, right? When you're thinking necromancer. You see these books, so he was studying. He was clearly performing the rite of kindling right here. Ah, man. Poor guys. Didn't stand a chance. Alright, so this is why we have cast light. So this whole area coming up is a dark area. I mean, it is utterly pitch black. And so there's a couple ways, the Tomb of the Giants, and you can see the eyes of the giant skeleton there. There's a couple ways to actually go about creating a light source. The most common way, I would think, would be this cast light spell. It's pretty straightforward for the most part. The other, another common method is to use a sunlight maggot, which is it's basically a helmet that, well, yeah, it's a helmet that produces light, basically. Okay, so you have that. I love how you can see these items down here, you know. The sunlight maggot. And then there's also a shield item, which we should get pretty soon, that also does the same thing. So you see, the sword doesn't do a lot of damage, but one thing it does is keep these idiots dead. You can see the eyes of an archer down there firing these great arrows at us. These guys are easy enough to handle, to be honest. They're not overly difficult. Oh, we missed it barely. It's okay. I think it's just a soul or something. Well, hey there, Patches. What do you think, guys? This Patch has really gotten over his ways and is a good guy, one of our friends now. Maybe so. I'm gonna wait a second. Before we take a closer look, we're going to actually explore a little bit. The first thing we want to explore is, haha, this ladder right here. Because it leads to a bonfire. Bonfire! Oh! And we do want to go ahead and kindle this one. I'd say kindle it up to 15. Probably don't need 20. couldn't hurt, but alright. So now, and this is really cool. So this is actually, we've seen it kind of, but this is actually the demon ruins of Lost Izalith. That's a pretty cool vista here, just chilling on the side. Alright. So this next part is one of the most I don't even know the best way to say it, asshole-ish areas in the game, possibly. It is extremely, extremely hard to survive. This is a giant sarcophagus, by the way. You can see the skelly eyes there. Can't quite see them over there, but anyway, yeah. So this area it's extremely rough. We're gonna do our best to survive it. Really, the best way to go about it. Look at it. You can see why it's rough. There's like 30 skeletons down here. This is one way to go about it, but honestly, probably the best way to go about it is to just simply... Wow, that does not do a lot of damage, huh? So just simply make a suicide run, and then try to homeward bone if you can. It is very hard to homeward bone, though. One thing to note, there's 2 items in here. That item is actually just a soul item, and is actually trash. They try to get you to get that because it's closer, right? I was trying to see if I could kill one of them. Don't think it's going to happen though. Well, 4 damage, eh? There we go, 68. If you can pick any of them off, I mean, that just helps you, so... I'd definitely say there's no reason not to try to. Except for maybe like the time investment. Yeah, they're not very happy with us. Ah. I've never tried it this way before, honestly. I'm scared we're gonna fall down right here, though. God, my camera is losing it. Oh, we got him. We're hitting some of them, man. This is an interesting way to go about doing this. You know, we could probably plunging attack and kill all of them. But I feel like if we did that, we would be in a pickle. Oh, we got one of them. Alright, let's try it. Got y'all. Wow. That may be the first time I've ever done that, guys. So, just for the record, that's one way to do it. The other way is to just sprint and grab this ever important item as quickly as possible, and then immediately homeward bone in this little corner. It's pretty cool, though. Looks a lot like Andre. Looks exactly like Andre. Got all the tools of Andre. But if you recall, we found the same Andre-like statue with a blacksmith's workbench in the Darkroot Garden, where we found the first Divine Ember. Of course, this is the large one, but Ember required for large Divine Ember of secret church rites intended for select divine blacksmiths. on par with the very weapons of the gods. Yeah, buddy. Alright, so I'm really glad that we got through that without dying or even having a homeward bone. That's very rare, it seems, these days. Alright, Patches, you said there's some treasure down here for us. Let's go check it out. Oh, he wasn't lying. There is some treasure down there, eh? How do we get down there, though, I wonder? Oh! Oh! Patches! So in case you haven't noticed, Patches is a little masochistic. Or sadistic, mind you. There we go. Skull Lantern. So this is actually the shield that I was referring to earlier. Let's see. Where are you? Where are you? It's not classified as shield. Yeah, there it is. Damn it. Skull Lanterns of the Catacombs Necromancer droops from his long beard locks. This lantern alights the Tomb of the Giants, Nito's light-devouring domain of death. Also serves as a fire damage strike weapon. So yeah, it's basically, I mean, you can see it's just a little shield, and if you hold it up, not only will it, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell because we actually have a light source, but you see the light source goes away when we use this. And it is indeed a light source. It also has these illuminated paths that it goes through. Problem is, you can't wield your weapon two-handed while you're doing it, so. Alright, so let's see. Where did Patches kick us down? Raya? How'd you get down here? So Raya's down here. And apparently her knights that were with her have gone hollow. So Petrus and the boys. Except for there's only two of them. Oh, we have no poise. Well, I don't see Petrus in here. Come on, fatty. You know what? Little punk with your emit force spell. Get out of here. Vince and Nico, I believe, are their names. Ray, what you know about this? Yeah. Thanks, fam. Alright, so she gave us replenishment. Pretty interesting spell. I bet you can guess what it does. Replenishment for he shall not fall easily. So we're not going to go that way just yet. We're going to come over here and check this area out. Because when we come up here and get this item, you notice a sound. And you see some things. And we're dead. So those are skeleton columns. They normally don't wreck my HP that quickly. No matter. Now we can have a word with our dear old friend Patches. Be like, yo, my dude, why'd you kick us down the hole? Down the rabbit hole? Super rude. I mean, we appreciate it, honestly. We got a lot of dope stuff, but still seemed kind of rude. Patches. You thought I was dead, didn't you? I'm gonna go with a hard no. Twin humanities. It proves you murdered a woman. Yeah, see, even you know it. Punk ass. Alright. Thanks a lot, Patches. So these guys can actually drop white Titanite chunks, I believe. Assuming they don't kill us. And you can come down here and farm them, basically. You just gotta be careful with them. Alright, now we can go this way. To the world's most obvious. Oh, what? How did that hit me? Ow. It's actually pretty tough with a small weapon that doesn't just one-shot these guys. Yeah, the world's most obvious illusory wall. And you can see this actually comes out right above our bonfire. We're not even going to worry about it. Now, we're just going to head right of Patches. Now, this is a tricky little area. You really got to be careful. This area has a new enemy. The dog from hell. Now these dogs do an insane amount of damage and are incredibly aggressive, so you gotta really be careful when you're fighting them. And there's a lot of them in this coming up area. There's also in this coming up area a little sneaky enemy that we can maybe bait out. Yeah, I hear him. Come on. Come on. There he is. Little cheeky black knight down here. Well, he's dead. Probably. There he goes. So this area is actually kind of like a nightmare. So you see the arrows there. We can actually, well, you see the dog, obviously. You can actually kind of avoid. Oh, that's not good. Let's say we can avoid one of these dogs. That's what having no poise is like. There we go. Avoid that other dog. And so this little item here is actually kind of a way to tell you, like, hey, you should come over here, and then maybe just fall down here. Reason being, it's because this is one of the most valuable items in the game. But before we pick it up, we have to deal with an extremely nasty ambush. Which hopefully we can live through. There we go. So once all those a-holes are dead, the covetous silver serpent ring. Such a good item, such a useful item for farming. Where is it? Right there with the covetous gold serpent ring. So gold one boosts item discovery, silver serpent ring, extra souls. Basically the exact same description as the gold one. It's a shame you get this so late because it's so good. And so I just like to run and jump over here, because if we come over here, it's our second bonfire. Hey, would you look at that? It's kind of tucked away, right? Kind of hidden. We're going to go ahead and kindle that bad boy twice, I believe. Again, we don't need to kindle it up to 20. We can, but there's no purpose really. We're not going to need more than 15 Estus, hopefully. So we don't even have to go that way. Now he may follow us, but that's okay. Get our Titanite. Now this is a bad spot. So there is like 50,000 dogs right here, but you can actually avoid all of them and just walk right under there. Come down here and get our soul item. A cool view here, man. I love this area, like right here, how it's set up. Alright, so you do want to be human, because there's actually an invasion here. And we have recently encountered the invader. Paladin Leroy, how you doing? Oh, you think you're so slick. God, I love the sound effect on that. No poise. Whew. But you're too slow, Paladin Leroy. Leroy Jenkins. Some humanities. Grant and Sanctus. So Sanctus is a shield, a legendary weapon of the Way of White, granted to an undead paladin long ago, once blessed with the protection of a white flame, but its power has all but faded, so that it provides only slight HP recovery. So it does recover some HP, so not too bad. And then also, where are you? Grant. Such a good weapon, man. Legendary weapon of the Way of White, granted to an undead paladin long ago. This massive iron can only be lifted by those with inhuman strength, but it is blessed and very effective against agents of dark. 50 strength required to wield it, and this is the other, and also you notice it scales A with faith. This is the other weapon that I was telling you about, that it has that innate divine modifier down there of 130. It's extremely strong, but extremely unlikely to be used by most characters. So, proceeding forward here. These a-holes. There's quite a few of them. This one, so let's say this one will actually pop up under us. All the while this guy's shooting arrows at us. And you got this nasty one with a sword waiting right behind him. Getting deeper into the lair, you'll notice there's 10 million pinwheels here. I mean, literally, there's pinwheels everywhere. I've never really understood this, why there's so many pinwheels. And then these cute little guys, which are much worse than they appear. So these little tiny babies, they are a excellent source for humanities, right? They drop humanities like it was nobody's business. The best thing about them is they are infinitely respawning. So you can just kill them forever, basically. No humanities? You gotta be careful though, because they actually do a decent amount of damage, and they also can toxic you. So be aware of that. I just always thought it was really interesting though that there was all these pinwheels down here. Like, bro, weren't you like a boss or something? Like, there's another one I missed. All these pinwheels. can see, like I said, infinitely respawning. I know they don't seem like they're dropping many humanities, but you gotta think you can kill so many of them. That's why you have a good chance of getting humanity. There's one more item here that we need. That is through here. Very important item as well. A white Titanite slab. Heck yeah. I think that's our first white Titanite slab. So of course we have Titanite slabs. But the white one is to reinforce a divine weapon to max. Heirlooms of nameless blacksmith deity who forged the weapons of other gods. Weapons forged with this slab become rare legendary weapons. So maybe the blacksmith deity is who that statue is for, right? The statue that looks suspiciously like Andre. Maybe that's who they're referring to. And our last item here before we get to our boss fight. Soul of a Hero. And I may go ahead and fight the boss now. I'm actually going to change though from Astoria's Greatsword back to the Greatsword of Artorias. Alright guys, so we already know that it's Gravelord Nito. One thing you do not want to do is go ahead and cast light again. If you cast, I know that sounds weird, if you cast light, he's going to do one certain move basically over and over and over and over and over again. And it's like the most annoying move in the game. So there's Nito. Like I said, we've already met him. And we've already been to his boss arena. So we know what's up. One thing also to keep in mind is he has skeletons, big and small skeletons, in his boss arena who, if you are not using a divine weapon, will constantly respawn. So that's why I switched to the Greatsword of Artorias. Because you can kill them as much as you want, but they'll keep respawning because he is the necromancer of this area, basically. But because this is considered a divine weapon, it'll kill him permanently. Ow. Oh, that's no good. Not sure how to get out of this. Nito's really not that hard, though. There's a couple attacks you definitely want to watch out for. That's one of them. Back on up when he gets down there, because he will shoot out some magic at you that is no bueno. You see the big skeletons chilling over there, right? Now, if you stay too far away from him, he'll do one certain attack that is just nasty. I'm going to try to get him to do it. That's not it. Come on. Come on, Nito, do the attack. It's just one final attack we need you to do. There it is. So, when he screams, that's your sound cue. When he sticks that sword in the ground, it's gonna come out on you basically. So you basically just right before he sticks the sword in the ground, just dodge left or dodge right. But that's pretty much it, guys. That's Nito. Super easy boss. Got us a Lord Soul. Not a bequeathed Lord Soul shard, just a Lord Soul. Soul of Gravelord Nito, first of the dead. This Lord Soul was discovered at the dawn of the Age of Fire. Nito administers the death of all manner of beings. The power of this soul is so great that it satiates the Lord Vessel, despite the fact that much of its energy has already been offered to death. And we do know that, right? I mean, it's been offered to death because it was being stolen by Pinwheel. Alright, guys, so that wraps up the Catacombs and the Tomb of the Giants. Trying to think, in our next episode, what do we want to do? I don't know. We'll figure it out, guys. For now, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure, as always, to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you next time. Bye!